Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your money reading. Um, Interesting. I was going to open up your reading in a whole different way. Um, it's interesting the way my day is going. Anyways, we are going to ask our spirit guides really one question, and that is, will you feel rich? Will you become rich in 2025? And yes, sooner versus later. So, what do we need to know now? Um, by the way, there's a couple things I picked up for you way before I started your reading. And one was, I feel like Aries is going to it's going to like push you out of your comfort zone in like in the beginning of March. But that can be a good thing. It may be like pushing you to do something that I have a feeling will bring you happiness, maybe money, maybe both, hopefully. Um, I also feel like Jupiter is going to be a big part of you being successful um, because it's really in your favor. So that's a good thing. I had a vision of someone giving you money. So, and let me tell you why I had this vision real quick. Um, so I went to start to do your reading and my camera was all cloudy. I'm like, damn, I did an update yesterday. Every time I do an update, there's something wrong with my camera. I think Mercury's still in retrograde, might be out of retrograde now. But it felt like that. Then I tried everything um, to fix it. And then I went to Microsoft support and I had to wait like 3 hours. So I was thinking about you during that time. But long story short, she had to re-upload my camera and a re-download. And then I clicked on it and I said, nope, it's still cloudy. And then she said, do me a favor, take a soft cloth and just go over the camera lens. And I did, and it turned crystal clear. I mean, oh my God, how stupid was that? Like, you think that would be the first thing. Now I know that. Now I know because I do have those problems. So now I know to like keep checking that camera lens. But anyway, so during that time period, I just had this vision of, I feel like it's a man handing you money, and it does feel like it's a pretty big lump sum of money. I feel that it's either going to be like an unexpected part of a new job, like a sign-on bonus type of thing that maybe you weren't aware of. And it's interesting because I felt like you were being paid cash. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like a paycheck or um, maybe you're going to be winning something. Um, Maybe somebody owes you money and you're finally going to get it back. I don't know, but I do feel, and I felt that for like it didn't feel like for a limited amount of people. It felt like for Taurus. So you'll have to let me know. Um, and I hope that happens. Okay. So, anyways, we are really looking at your money house, which I never do. I do life readings, and love seems to kind of overtake it. Kind of. I mean, some people feel that way. I really don't. But I could see where other people could feel that way. Um, and I've had people say, "Why don't you just do money?" Um, and I just never have. But for some reason, I really feel called to do it like, at this time. But I feel like it's for the year, and but I'm really hoping it's sooner versus later. but there may be some groundwork. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get into that. I already asked my guides who connect to your guides. You know, they know you're going to be here before you know you're going to be here. Um, so, I wanted to be as clear as possible for all of us. Um, and this is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You know, you think of your moon, that's your emotions. That's probably where, like, I feel like that's where the inner child lies. I feel like, but that's also where your dreams, like the things that you really want to do or be, or, who you want to be, I feel like lies within that energy. So I feel like it's a good thing to always watch your moon reading with your sun. Your sun's more about what you project out to the world. Um, so, anyways, this is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you're intuitively guided, which I already know some of you are going to be, welcome. Um, yeah. And okay, so we want to know about money. We want to know um, success. What do we need to do? Um, and let's let that be. All right. So we'll use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper. I'm going to bring the lid down. Really, there to go deeper. We'll use the, I just forgot the name of this deck. It'll come to me. It's not a deck I use very often, and I wanted that. Like, I just felt like I needed to use a deck for you that I don't use that often. So, these came to mind, and I had to hunt for them. But now I cannot remember the name. I want to call them Lumerous Tarot, but I don't know. All right, anyways, I want to stop thinking about that for a second. Just kind of recenter my energy. Make sure our guides know that we're ready. Which means we're going to let go of expectations and we're willing to go with the flow. We really are looking for spiritual wisdom here. So, let's begin. Dang, now I'm thinking, did I cut them? All right. Taurus, I wonder if your energy feels like off kilter. Because for some reason in your reading, I feel off filtered. Like I have to keep recentering my energy. So it is. All right. Money, 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 money. Well, I mean, hello, Ten of Pentacles. It's not the first card. First of all, they're all face up. We have the Death card. So, transformation. And you're never meant to fear this. When you see it in a reading, don't fear it. You're not meant to fear death. That's really where the rebirth takes place. The transformation, right? Human body to the spiritual body. So it can talk about something ending, but it is so something new can begin. Two of Wands. So it does look like something new. Or even a new avenue, off of an existing platform, let's say. It's interesting because the person in the Two of Wands is looking right back at the Death card. So it's like, I feel like they clearly have that realization that this transformation, first of all, I feel like must have been good because Wands, first of all, are action oriented. But it's usually when you are, following a whim, a passion, and you might just be beginning, but it's exciting nonetheless. And then look at this. I mean, Hello, abundance. Hello, abundance. Some of you might be trying something brand new, but maybe you always wanted to. Again, I feel like you feel excited for this. Um, yes, it does come after some type of transformation. But look what it's producing. Ultimately, it's like we're seeing the beginning, the Two of Wands, and we're seeing the ultimate where we end up, the Ten of Pentacles. Well, that is the House of Abundance. We'll take it. King of Pentacles, look at that. It's like it puts you right there. You know, look at this. There is a man who has a pentacle in his hand. And I'm saying that because it's just reminding me of that vision I had. This king is looking off towards the future. This could certainly be you. Um, you know, if you're a female, it could be you more in your masculine energy. If you're a masculine, you're in your masculine energy. Look at this, the Nine of Cups. Wow. Inner fulfillment. Wow. This is good. You know, I don't know what the death card wanted you to close the door to. I almost feel like, do I even want to look? Because, you know, that action alone, it's really what got everything moving, everything rolling. So, this is inner harmony. This is really loving your life. Some of you could certainly be working from home and loving it. But the meaning of this card is also fulfillment of wishes. So, it's like a lucky time. You know what I mean? Like after a period of time where felt like there's a cloud over you, now the sun is shining. We have the Eight of Wands. Interesting. When I think about it, I bring about. And look, they're all coming back to you. It's like your intentions. It's like those seeds that were planted earlier. Now they're coming back to you. This might be like what piques your interest was all this new growth. It's also fast moving energy. Maybe that's why we see the Ten of Pentacles so quickly. And, you know, I really think of the law of attraction when I see this card. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because I feel like it's the intentions that you put out into the universe, and then the universe sending that matching vibrational energy back. And yes, I did say matching on purpose. You know what I mean? Um, and sometimes I feel like you just got to picture yourself there, even if you don't know how you're going to get there. Wow. The Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. You know what else I was thinking about during that 3 hour wait? I was thinking about your spirit guides. And I was thinking about how a lot of you, I had a comment from someone who said, I wish I knew who my spirit guides were. And I said, well, you do. Um, some of them have lived life with you. And I feel like, like think of money, like who was good at money? Because I feel like different guides step forward at different times. Um, and you don't know them. I mean, you do know them because you're soul connected. Um, but you may not have lived life with every one of them. It's like there's a box. It's a recipe box, and it was my great grandmother's who handed it down to my grandmother, handed it down to my mom, down to my sister, and now to me. And it will go to my daughter. So anyway, Knight of Pentacles. The reason why I'm saying that is I do feel like this is guardian angel energy. And the Knight of Pentacles really speaks about coming at the right time. This knight brings in really a pentacle, and it's meant to really enhance your life. It's like you're on this new journey. And although you don't know the ultimate destination, though I feel like yet we are getting a clue, um, I feel like get excited about it. This night is a night that comes at the right time, period. Not before, not after. Like right when it knows that who I give it to will use it to really enhance their life. And look what's right above it, that Ten of Pentacles. Doesn't feel like it's a one-time thing. And then we have the Four of Wands. Interesting. It's a marriage card. And I do not want to do a love reading. So I do notice how the Nine of Cups is mirroring the Four of Wands. This could be like someone now in singular energy. So I could definitely see that. And we also have the King of Pentacles attached to it. He's looking off towards the future, though he is mirroring the Death card. Some of you, this could be a guide, like a guide who, again, I feel like that's probably why I said their specialty is like money. I can't even think of who my guide would be as it relates to money. Okay, well, I was going to stop there, but I think I want to go ahead and take four more. Three of Wands, beautiful energy, Taurus. Optimism, patience. It's like you're answering to no one but to yourself. Interesting. I don't know why I'm picking up on that. This is someone who's living in the present moment. And, it's like maybe you have laid the groundwork and it's like, like you just know those ships are going to come in, they're going to find you. You just know it. And you know it's going to happen in divine timing. And in the meanwhile, it looks like, man, you're just kind of enjoying your life. I'm not going to say everything's going well, but I see everything looks pretty good. Plus, we move from the two now to the three, connected to this Nine of Cups. Oh, we have the four also. Two, three, and four. Two, three, four. Whoa. All right. I'm not going to take those, but I am going to take these. All right, we have the Nine of Wands. Interesting. Under the Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, and it's mirroring the Two of Wands. Nine of Wands is, listen to the little birdies out there. It's spring. I don't know if you can hear them, but I have little birdies singing in the window. Um, anyways, the Nine of Wands is one who's reflected back on their life, or at least, a situation, maybe the last 9 years. And we are in the last year of a 9 year cycle. But it's really about all this growth. It's like how you've grown from those experiences. It's not looking back in judgment. It's like the things that you've overcome. It's interesting. I just realized there's like new growth all over the place. All right. Well, hello, victory and success. Mirroring the Ten of Pentacles. So it's interesting. I was just thinking to myself, it's showing us that this looks like it can be a very, first of all, happy time. I mean, that's what I'm really noticing is the happiness, that inner harmony. I feel like like a lot of laughing and probably a whole change of energy. I don't know. Maybe some of you have become single. Um, but what I was going to say is it's showing us more like, not really like, how are you getting there? Well, in a way, I guess it is. The Six of Wands, energy of victory and success. This really is where other people are looking up to you. And it's because of action steps that you've taken. So, it's the way you don't want to get mad at your past. You never know when it's going to be called into action, so to speak. And again, some of you, you might just be like receiving epiphanies, especially with the Knight of Pentacles here. Like something might be just drawing your attention. I feel like follow it. All right. Seven of Cups. Interesting. Should I or shouldn't I? And then the Seven of Wands. So some of you, you know, some of you aren't so sure. Seven of Cups can talk about chaotic energy, trying to make a decision out of that energy. And then you have the Seven of Wands over that, and that can be defensive energy, like one standing their ground. But it can also be fighting off fires. It's interesting, all this new growth is even coming towards this person, but I feel like, maybe someone came in between, like what you always felt called to do. And, ultimately, I do feel like it's your decision. But all I can feel is the joy it brings you. Yet all of a sudden, like, interesting because now this King Pentacles is mirroring this energy with the Four of Wands. So some of you, I do feel like it's a relationship ending, and you have probably already become single. Maybe you just weren't sure of what direction to go. I feel like your guides are really trying to help you with that. So, try to have as clear as mind as possible. Live in the present, not the past. Because you'll miss the signs if, if we live in the past too long. There's something that, energy that you've overcome that I feel like others then seek you out. And then there's this aggression and uncertainty and, you know, but I feel like you feel certain. So this might have been what it was. All right. Well, look at that. The 5 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. So 5 is a change. Okay. Starting to affirm more and more. Like, and I know this isn't for everyone. But I do feel like, and also I feel like you would already know this. Like I don't make those predictions like, oh, a marriage is going to end. These are things that you would already know. That's like an agreement I have with my guides. Um, so anyway, 5 of Cups, it can be sad. Um, this person is like looking down at the cups that have all been knocked over. Maybe blaming oneself. It's interesting because this person has like what looks like, oh, look at that, and then all this worry. And then the Empress. Maybe some are worried about becoming a single mom. Though I have to tell you, I feel this loving energy coming from the Empress, almost like a mother's energy, kind of like, how do I say it? Like hugging, but there's another word, snuggling with their child. But it's like, you know, they're in spirit. So, the good news I want to give you in here is there are 2 cups that this person just doesn't know exist. So I feel like as a relationship goes, um, maybe just somebody just, let's just say that I feel like you're heading this new direction and it has abundance all over it. It has, look at the wands attached to it, optimism, joy, laughter, um, abundance, like your guardian angel, and ultimately victory. And it all started with you. Look at that, 8 of Wands. I feel like, don't get mad at me, but I feel like someone's spirit guide is like, make that decision sooner versus later. Maybe someone like ultimately knows what they're talking about. And I feel like that was a little personal message. All right. I feel like this transformation, or the potential of a closing as a door, I do feel like what this is saying is like energy that is very positive. Feels like it's just moving fast. Like, again, you're from the 2 to the 10 of Pentacles, so you might be finding like abundance very quickly, but it may be on a different path. Hmm. Look at that, the 5 of Wands just flipped around in my hand. That's good. Drama. People filled with drama have to be right. They don't want to back down. They're not going to back down. So I have to make a decision. Do I stay or do I go? Do I be part of the drama? Or do I separate myself from the pack? I feel like you're separating yourself. That's why it's in reverse. That feels like very good news. I don't know. Hmm. 2 of Swords. A little bit of a block. Okay. It makes me feel like someone, if I really, really like really want to follow, and again, I feel like it's something that you really feel called to, or gifts and abilities you already possess, but it feels like it's like new. So whether it's a new avenue, like I have an existing, like I'm doing, I do my YouTube, but I just started doing a podcast. And I'm moving into where I started it at. So it's a new avenue for me. That's what I mean. It can be that too. I feel like this blindfold, like how to take that off, how to see the truth. Maybe I had hoped for a while that there'd be change, with this. There seems to be some aggressive energy, drama that you were around. But I do feel like you did take the blindfold off. Just means it may be something you don't want to face. Um, but yet it does serve you to face it. You know, or I don't know. I feel like why would I want to stay in drama filled, sometimes chaotic, aggressive energy if I have an opportunity to go this way instead of that way? Could be a little fear. I get that. I think your guides definitely get that. Maybe your guides have lived on Earth before. They've gone through these experiences. Wow. Big block. Okay. We have, okay, well, a Viking. Because this is you walking away. Interesting how you have two eights mirroring each other. Could talk about two new beginnings. Maybe one is love and another is financial. This one you're asking for because those are your seeds of intention. And this one, it's you that's doing the walking. Where's the person in the Eight of Cups going to? The Nine of Cups? There it is. How do they find this emotional inner harmony? Looking within their emotional house, taking all the blindfolds off. And if I'm not happy, I'm not happy. If it's been this way, is it going to change? I don't know. I feel like, those are questions you'd ask yourself. Like, because I don't want to feel like I'm telling you what to do. This is someone making that decision on their own. All right, look at that judgment. Your whole spiritual team calling you to the present moment. Interesting how you the death card, which talks about transformation. Really, you'll see on some cards it says death/rebirth, and in judgment, it's really the same thing. It's about being in present moment energy, and this person is. And the signs that you'll receive, I felt that. Like I felt epiphanies reaching you. Funny, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Um, it's guidance. It's knowing it, feeling it. All of a sudden, I have goosebumps. I feel like if someone is really unhappy and there's a glimpse of light shown to you and you follow that, I I feel like it's almost like you're entering a different dimension. Okay. That Four of Wands again. Interesting. We have the Ten of Swords. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups. And then we have the High Priestess, your intuition. So you're definitely picking up on the signs. And it feels like the signs, once, as they come in, they're coming in quickly. I feel like they're helping in a way to answer some of the questions you've been asking. Here, what I gotta be careful of with the Five of Cups is then I'll be like, oh, woe is me. What just happened to me? This person feels like, you know what? Maybe I was there, but I've cleared that. And now, baby, I'm in movement. This Ten of Swords coming over the Knight of Pentacles, there's no way the Knight of Pentacles would bring that. So to me, what it's representing is there could have been a repeat pattern going on in your life. It could all be behind that door I'm talking about in the Death card. And, whoever it is, whether it be love or people I work with, whatever it is, I feel like, well, let me just say, what this is really saying is to trust your own intuition. Okay. The Four of Wands is about making a true commitment. And number one, it doesn't have to be to yourself. Look at that. Beautiful. The Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles speaks about the willingness to go into something as the apprentice, knowing that you're going to learn as you go and ultimately become the master teacher. I mean, how beautiful is that? And I love that it's coming over into the Knight of Wands, your wisdom, your experiences, everything you've ever come. And look at this person. They're kind of like lost within their craft. Boy, that feels good. Okay. I'm not taking the ones down again, but I am going to take the Page of Pentacles, which makes sense because I feel like there's a real importance to your past. And I don't feel like it was easy. I really don't. It's like I really didn't want to open that door, but the door is kind of cracking open. Um, and, but, ultimately, I feel like it's really, if we look at it like the King of Pentacles does, the big picture, it's really about what you have learned, how you have grown, who you are now, today, where you want to go. It's taken all that wisdom of the Page of Pentacles. Means you're on a learning, you're here to learn and grow. And I love this coming over the Six of Wands, victory and success. Look at that. And the Empress makes her way out. Well, kind of feels like we've been building the Empress all along. And then here she is. Some of you, I definitely feel like you might like be a single mom or single dad. Um, and even though I don't really want to talk about love, I feel like, I do feel like you're gonna find. I definitely feel like you're gonna find someone. But I do feel like, let's just say, like your creative house feels on fire. It really does. like the growth is quick, but it takes your action. Don't forget that. Whether it will, maybe I'm doing something that, other people have to seek you out. Will that happen? Yeah, that's what they're doing in the Six of Wands. They're seeking you out. There could be a million other people who do what you're going to do or what you are doing. Um, but it's like nobody does it like you. How do I love the Empress mirroring the High Priestess? That is her measurement of everything. Like you don't see the Empress building those 8 swords, that self-created prison. She uses her energy source as the measure of what's coming towards her. If it's going to be good or bad. If it's bad, the alarm systems will go off. If it's good, she's going to feel it. She's going to feel it. She's loving. She's nurturing. She's powerful. She's courageous. She's very creative. Always receiving epiphanies. Seems to know the perfect time. Well, I feel like because she feels so connected to her guides and trusts with the divine timing, like it's time to bring this out to the world. So I don't know, Taurus. I feel like this reading is about like it's like you're going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Truly, that's what I feel. I feel the angst of what was, but I also feel the potential of what can be. I mean, truly. It's not magical. It's you. And it's you following, it's like you being comfortable. Even if you don't know the names of your spirit guides, they don't care what you call them. You can call them anything you want. You know what I mean? Like, let's say your favorite band was Aerosmith. Steven, you know what I mean? Like, give them names. Anyway, wow, this felt powerful. Um, I feel like the best thing I can say is, a clear mind. And then this feels like following your passion. So, whatever that may be, even if it means interesting, because now that 2 of Wands, it's reminding me a little bit of like that Aries energy. So that may hit you at the beginning of March, which we're in. But then that feels like it goes away. It's full moon in Virgo. Great time. Um, Relating to business. Don't overthink. Okay. Think I'm gonna let that be. Wow, what a reading. Um, I'm so glad I figured out my camera. Because I was thinking, I'm just gonna take the day off. And I was like, no, I've just been thinking about you and thinking about you. I have to do your reading. So I wanna thank you. I love you. I will see you next time at our table. Bye bye. I feel like someone out there is like losing their voice because, like, all of a sudden, I feel like I'm losing my voice. And I really haven't been talking that much. I love you. Bye bye.